ブッチャーはどうでした？
ブッチャーはなんかまあ世界中でなんかもうすごい評判、全日本と新日本のトップ外地を参考になんか勉強になった部分っていうのはあります。
次の質問ですが、新日本プロレスに参戦された時、タイガージェットシンの暴れっぷりに感銘を受けて自身のスタイルに取り入れたとお聞きしましたけど、シン選手の思い出をあれば。
Well, I never went out with, I didn't socialize in any way with Tiger Jet Singh. But when I went over there in 77, the very first time, he was the head guy on the tour. And I was very lucky that the first time I went for All Japan, Abdullah was the head guy. And the time I went to New Japan, Tiger Jet Singh was the head guy. So I got to see both of those talents. And I think both of them influenced me in good ways.
なんかまあそれをちょっと参考になんかまあいろいろちょっと勉強になった部分っていうのはありますね。
じゃあブッチャーはどうでしたか？
Well, I mean, Abdullah had a great big reputation in the States. He was one of the top guys, much more known in the United States than Tiger Jet Singh. But and he was the butcher, and he was the top guy, and one of the top guys in pro wrestling, especially in Japan, but also in America. He did really well. And you know, the same for Jet Singh. You know, they were both top guys, and I learned a lot from watching them. Yeah, I mean, the butcher, he worked a lot of different places. He worked in Detroit, you know, a lot of places in the Midwest against you know, the Dick the Bruiser and all those guys. He was the top guy all around the United States. The butcher was. So a lot of people knew him. And Jet Singh was more of a Canadian and maybe other places, you know, too.
はい。ブッチャーとかタイガーと食事に行ったり、ツアーの中でね、そういうことあったんですか？
Have you ever privately gone out with Butcher or Jet Singh?
I never went out with Jet Singh at all. You know, I didn't. I was only around him on a couple of different tours. You know, later he went to All Japan too, about the time I did, and so you know we were on a few tours together. But I never socialized with Tiger Jet Singh. Abdullah a couple of times. You know, we didn't really go out or anything, but you know, we talked a little bit from time to time. So, and I worked against him in Georgia. He lived in Georgia at the time, so I ran across, you know, the butcher in Georgia too. I actually did go to he had a restaurant.
Yeah.
And I did go to his restaurant one time.
あ、一回行ったの。
一回ブッチャーのレストラン行ってますね。
味はどうでした？
And I got food poisoning.
あ、食中毒になりました。あれ
？Poison!
I found a fork in my meat.
Yeah.
なんか肉になんかフォークが刺さってましたね。
He had been working on it.
もうずっともうステーキをなんかつついてたんですよ、彼はフォークで。
試合と一緒じゃないですか。
Yeah. He might have been using the same fork.
多分同じフォーク使ってたんじゃないですかね。試合の時のフォークをなんかレストランで使用してたんじゃないですか。
ポイズンがね。
I did get sick. He had a nice restaurant for a while.
まあそれは冗談としてでもすごくいいレストランでしたけどね。はい。
では逆にツアー回った時ね、それはニュージャパンでもオールジャパンでもいいけど、仲の良かった外国人とかよく食事とかプライベート出かけたのって。
Yes, yeah. Pete Roberts is to this day my best friend in pro wrestling. We Skype 2 or 3 days a week. He's in England and I Skype from here.
ハンセンさんの引退セレモニーもイギリスから来ましたもんね。
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did, and I really appreciated that. You know, he was on the first New Japan tour, and that's where I met him, and our friendship started there. And then when I went to All Japan later, you know, I told Baba, or I asked Baba that I'd really like Pete Roberts to come, you know, when he could. And Baba knew, and Jumbo loved working against Pete Roberts because he had a great European style that he didn't get a chance to use.
馬場さんと話してもう呼んでもらいたいと。でジャンボも、グレコローマのオリンピックスタイルですよね。非常にピート・ロバーツのなんかそういうヨーロピアンスタイルがなんか好きだったので、なんかそういう試合ができればっていうことで話は持ってったことがあります。
チャボゲレロはどうでしたか？
Chavo Guerrero, not the one you called Chavo Guerrero, but the real Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, real Chavo Guerrero.
本物の方のチャボゲレロですね。
Not Jado Gedo, not Jado Gedo, Chavo Guerrero.
Okay, yeah, okay.
僕がね、
he
ジャドゲドってコールしたらチャボゲレロに聞こえて、どこにチャボゲレロがいるんだって会場中探しまくった。
Yeah.
Where's the Chavo Guerrero? Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, Chavo was a great guy, and he was a good friend, and a really good talent too.
彼は本当に素質のあるレスラーでもう親友でした。
チャボもね、新日本時代も全日本時代も一緒でしたから。
I think he was. I'm almost positive
確かそうでしたね。
はい。
You know, his dad was the promoter of El Paso.
エルパソ
において彼の父親がプロモーターだったんですよね。
ニュージャパンの時に弟分みたいに一緒に動いてたハルク・ホーガンは
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
Who? I'm joking. Yeah, I wasn't his mentor, but I think you know, he had a rough road breaking in. And, you know, a lot of people don't know, or maybe they do. But, you know, Hogan had a hard time breaking in Florida. Who was the trainer in Florida?
Hiro Matsuda.
Hiro Matsuda. Matsuda actually hurt Hogan, broke his leg, and in training. And then Hogan went back, he recuperated, and then came back and went through it again. And so that's how he got in. So, you know, Hogan had a, you know, he was pretty tough.
昔の雑誌でね、ハルク・ホーガンさんとスタンハンセンさんがよく移動してるの、一緒に移動して駅で買い物してる写真とか見て、仲いいのかなと思って。
We were kind of partnered up with New Japan, and you know, for a number of tours, and we got along. And Hogan, you know, he was a little different style than I was, but you know, he had a lot of talent, obviously, and he's got the size. I mean, how many people is as big as Hulk Hogan, right? So, you know, he had a hard time, but he ended up doing really well. Obviously, probably one of the best ever.
プロ野球の阪神に所属しておりましたバース選手。
ランディ・バースとはなんか昔から仲良くて、よく会ったり遊びに行ったり。
ハンセンさんの代名詞あるこのユース試合会場ではどうしてもウィーにしか聞 聞き取れません。
こっちの方でなんかウィーに聞こえてしまうのは、まあちょっとよくわからないんですけど、ウィーに聞こえるんだったらウィーでいいです。ありがとうございます。